Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I have a quick announcement to make. I will be at open source again this year. So if you decide to go, please come check out my booth. I'll have free stickers and I'd love to meet you guys. For a while now, my husband Chris and I have been wanting to collaborate on a project together, combining my industrial design skills with his coding skills. I really like having indoor plants, so for our first project we decided to make a smart planter. So the first prototype will be a planter with a screen showing data about the moisture in the soil, the temperature in the air, and the amount of light that the plant is getting. Here is a list of all the electrical components that we will be using in our project. A Bluetooth plant monitor we purchased off Amazon. It's able to read light, moisture, soil fertility, and temperature. A Raspberry Pi 4, a 5-inch screen, and a power supply. So once we had all our electrical components ready, Chris got started on the coding portion of the project, and I got started on designing the body of the project. Later, I'll be posting a separate video explaining the coding side of the project in more detail, but in this video, I decided to focus more on the physical design aspect of the project. I started off by looking for inspiration on Pinterest. We wanted the design of our planter to look like an old retro 80s PC. Chris is really interested in retro computers, and we both enjoy watching 8-bit guys' videos. So that's part of what inspired us to make a planter that looks like an 80s computer. I sourced a lot of visual inspiration from one of my all-time favorite shows, Maniac. I also really like the look and the branding of Commodore computers and wanted to incorporate that in the final design somehow.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
After getting inspired, I went ahead and drew these concept sketches. I then chose one of the sketches and turned it into a 3D model. I started by modeling the main body of the planter. I then made a container that will hold the soil in the plant and another one that will catch the moisture when the plant gets watered. That way the moisture won't get onto the electronics. I then added a screen mount with holes so that the screen and the Raspberry Pi can be inserted and mounted to the main body with screws. Cut the base into 2 halves that will attach together with magnets. This ensures that we will be able to get easy access to the electronics if we need to change or fix anything. I made a hole in the back for the power cord that needs to plug into the Raspberry Pi and the wall. As you'll see later, this hole definitely wasn't big enough. I added rainbow stripes on the sides and a planter door logo I created in Photoshop in the front as a nod to the Commodore 64. I then started printing the pieces. After that, I inserted the magnets in the 2 base halves. I noticed that the plant container didn't have anything to keep it aligned in the main base. So I 3D modeled and printed an extra part that I could slot in to keep the plant container aligned. I coated the plant container in polyurethane to make it water resistant. Once the polyurethane coat was dry, I planted a satin pothos plant in the container. The gravel I added at the bottom is supposed to help with water drainage. The container that the pot plant goes into needs to be completely waterproof, so I coated the inside of that with this resin. I then installed the screen and Raspberry Pi. As you can see, the Raspberry Pi is able to mount to the back of the screen. It was at this point that I realized I didn't make the hole for the power cable big enough. So I used a jewelry cutting saw wire to cut the hole bigger by holding the wire with my fingers and pulling it back and forth. As you can see, it was a bit awkward, but I didn't own a better tool for the job at the time and it managed to sort of work. So now the hole was big enough, but it looked ugly. I decided to make a plug that would both keep the power cord secure while simultaneously covering the ugly hole. After 3D modeling the plug, I printed it using a flexible 3D printing material called TPU. The next issue I noticed was that the screen window was too big, leaving an ugly gap around the screen. So instead of reprinting the whole front piece, I made a screen frame to glue to the front and cover any of the gaps. Finally, it was time to add the last finishing touches. I printed each teeny tiny rainbow stripe for the logo and then stuck it onto the logo with super glue. Here is the final result. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!